to the Philadelphia Fair Housing Commission. My name is Ali DeMedeiros. I am the attorney for the Fair Housing Commissioners. Also present here today from the Fair Housing Commission staff is Ms. Brenda Madeira. She's your case manager. You'll also see Ms. Jomaris Castro Almeida. She runs our Zoom hearings for us. For the hearing, I am required to go over a few things with you. First, you're being recorded. We record all our hearings. By remaining online and participating in the hearing, you are consenting to be recorded. Our Zoom hearings have the same force and effect as if we were in person. The only difference is on Zoom, we do not have a court reporter. In the event either party wants to appeal a final order of this commission, you can reach out to me or Ms. Madeira and we will provide you with a copy of the video recording. Please be mindful of what you're saying and doing because it is being recorded. Second, at 9 o'clock this morning, the commissioners and myself, the attorney, met in a private executive session to discuss today's cases. We do this on every hearing day with every case. Third, the parties had the opportunity to submit documents. I have the submitted documents shared on my computer and can share them with everyone on the screen. Please keep in mind that the commission generally only reviews the very basic documents in a case prior to a hearing. If you would like a document reviewed by the commission, please reference it by a name, date, or description so that I can post it on the screen for everyone to look at the same time. Lastly, during the course of today's hearing, it might be necessary for the commissioners to speak privately to make decisions in this matter.
Okay, you cannot interrupt during this process, please. Okay?
Oh, okay.
Thank
Well, you
you.
didn't tell me that.
Okay, well, I'm telling you now. So please do not interrupt, please.
If
Even if you can't hear her, don't interrupt.
You
okay?
can hear us. You don't hear us.
I did not hear something that she said, and I was trying to get her to repeat it again, and you said don't interrupt her. So.
Okay, 1 second, Ms. Humphrey, please.
repeat. Third, the parties had the opportunity to submit documents. I have the submitted documents saved on my computer and can share them with everyone on the screen. Please keep in mind that the commission generally only reviews the very basic documents in a case prior to a hearing. If you would like a document reviewed by the commission, please reference it by a name, date, or description so that I can post it on the screen for everyone to look at the same time. Lastly, during the course of today's hearing, it might be necessary for the commissioners to speak privately to make decisions in this matter. If they need to do that, they will invite you to join separate rooms divided by party called breakout rooms. A prompt will come on your screen at the appropriate moment asking you if you would like to join a breakout room. We will direct you to click join when you see that prompt. Once in the breakout room, please remain in the room. We will never end a hearing when you are in a separate room. Please make sure you're back in this main room and that a commissioner or staff member dismisses you before you log off or hang up. Thank you very much for listening. At this point, I'm going to hand the case over to Ms. Madeira.
Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Fair Housing Commission. This is the case of Yvonne Blagman versus Bernice Cox. This is our first hearing. This is docket number 2024-12-18-19485. At this time, I would ask the tenant, would you please state your name and spell it clearly for the recording?
Yvonne Blagman, Blagman.
Thank you. Representative from Community Legal Service, would you please spell your name and state it and the relationship to this case, please?
Absolutely. Nicholas Pastore, that's Nicolas, last name Pastore, and I am a paralegal representing Ms. Blagman for the purposes of this hearing.
Thank you. Ms. Cox, would you please state your name clearly and spell it for the recording?
This is Bernice Cox. This is BERNICE, last name Cox, COX.
Thank you. So at this time, I would like to swear in the tenant as well as the landlord. Do you swear or affirm to tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
I do.
Thank you. During the hearing, you will have an opportunity, as you heard.
I'm sorry, Brenda, before I go, is Ms. Humphrey going to testify today?
No, I don't, Ms. Humphrey, you're not testifying today, correct? You were supposed to be here to assist with the Zoom link, am I correct?
If you need me to testify, I can. I wasn't aware of
No,
how the
it's-
procedures were.
Well,
No.
Ms. Cox, are you able to answer questions and testify, please, on your behalf?
Yes, sure.
Okay.
I hope I never dealt with anything
Okay.
like this before.
Okay, you just answer the questions as they ask you, okay?
Mhm.
Okay, thank you. So going forward, documentations that already has been submitted to this commission, we would ask you please that if there is a set specific document that you know of the name of the title of that document, so it could be shown on the screen, please make mention of that document. If you're using a date, please use the complete date. That would be the month, the day, and the year of said document submitted to the commission. We would ask you not to use pronouns. Please make mention of the full name of the person that you are referring to during your testimony. At the end of the hearing, you will receive an order. You have the right to appeal the final order at the Court of Common Pleas. You'll need a copy of this recording that will be transcribed for that said purpose. We would ask you not to interrupt each other, nor disrespect each other. And we will definitely ask you not to interrupt, nor disrespect the commissioners as they proceed over this matter. You're to speak when spoken to. This case is not scheduled for a landlord-tenant court hearing as of this morning. Again, my name is Brenda Madeira, and the commissioners presiding over this matter today is Commissioner Butler, Commissioner Bronson, and Commissioner Byers. Thank you.
Hi, good morning and welcome to the Fair Housing Commission. So the structure for this hearing this morning will be as follows. We will first hear from the tenant. We will ask her some questions. I understand that she has representation. And I will still go forward and ask the questions that the commissioners need, and then any overlap, anything that wasn't said that needs to be mentioned, then her representative can address. And then we will move on to the landlord. Ms. Blackmon? Can you hear me?
Yes,
Okay. Can you please state the address that we are here to talk about?
5939 Nassau Road. Apartment, second floor,
And what is the zip code?
19151.
Okay. And are you still residing at the property?
Yes,
And when did you first move in?
on November 19th.
Of what year?
I'm sorry, 2020, 25, 24.
Okay. And can you just keep your voice up, please? Just so that other parties can hear you. Thank you. And what is the monthly rent?
$975 and $25 I have to pay deposits. So each month I pay $1,000.
Okay, so the rent is $975. And then you
Yes.
pay an additional $25 as to go towards your security.
Yes,
Okay. And when was the last time that rent was paid to the landlord?
on December 2024,
Okay. And what was that amount?
$1,000.
Okay. And then since December, what have you done with the rent?
I have it.
You have it, you said?
Well, yeah, I used some of it, but I have like $854.
So you are withholding your rent at this time?
Can I jump in here?
Okay. So I'm only asking whether she's withholding her rent.
Yes,
Okay. You will have an opportunity to address anything that I'm not addressing at this time. So just bear with me.
Okay.
Ms. Blackmon, when you moved in, did you receive a certificate of renter suitability?
no,
At any time there since, have you received such document?
no,
Have you received a lead safe certificate?
no,
At any time since moving in?
no.
Okay. And to your knowledge, if you know the amount, what amount have you paid towards the security deposit?
Altogether, I paid, oh, okay.
Mhm.
On the first, I paid $300. In November, I paid $300 for security. And then on December, I paid the 25, and then, yeah.
So that's the
Okay,
number.
$325.
So initially you paid $300 and then you paid $25, you said, so 325?
No, so
That's what you
Right.
just said.
didn't you wanna know from the day I moved in to now?
Yes.
$325 just for security, right?
Okay. And you filed this complaint alleging retaliation and then also a good cause challenge. Before we get into that, I would just like to ask your landlord some questions, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Ms. Cox, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I want to ask you about, do you have a license to rent for this property?
I can, what did you say?
Do you have a license to rent for this property?
No, I've had the deed where I paid for the property.
Okay, do you have a license to
Okay.
rent, a renter's license?
No, no,
You do
no, I
not?
do not have a rental license.
You do
No.
not have one, okay. And have you ever obtained a certificate of renter suitability?
Wait a minute, I can't hear what you're
Can
saying.
you hear me?
What? No, I didn't understand you.
Have you, have you obtained a certificate of renter suitability?
No, no,
Okay, and I'm assuming because you haven't obtained, it, you haven't provided it to the tenant, is that correct?
I didn't provide it for the tenant.
Certificate of renter suitability, have you provided one to the tenant?
No,
Okay, have you obtained a lead safe certificate?
lead based. Yes,
You have a lead safe certificate?
I have it. I just received it. Yes,
Okay, have you provided that, a copy of that lead safe certificate to the tenant?
no, no. I just got it. Just this morning. Just yesterday. I just got it yesterday.
Okay, we're gonna ask you to share that, a copy of that with the Fair Housing Commission once you have a chance. And then I just would like to confirm that when was the last time that you received rent from the tenant?
I can't understand. It's not coming through clear. I can't understand. What did you say?
When was the last time that you received rent from the tenant?
Oh, that was in December. I think that was November. Yeah, December. It was November. I think we received $38 in November. In December, I received the $975. That's it.
Okay,
That's it.
the tenant explained that. Okay, they explained that you are holding 330.
Mhm.
Is that correct?
Yeah, 325. I'm holding that for security. I received 975 December, $38 November, and that's it. I didn't get anything January, February, or March.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay, so now we're gonna go back to the tenant. Ms. Blackman,
Yes,
We're having a bit of trouble hearing you.
okay, one moment.
Sorry.
You're having a difficult time hearing me?
I wasn't sure if it was cutting out or if you weren't speaking up. My apologies.
Were you able to hear everything that I said prior to that comment?
I think so, yes.
Yes, or do you think so?
It cut out a little bit.
Have you been able to hear me?
It cut out a little bit when you were questioning Ms. Cox.
Okay. The only other question that I have for Ms. Blackman is, did you pay last month to the landlord?
No. That won't be.
No?
February.
Oh,
February.
okay,
Do you mean like last month's rent as in?
exactly, yes.
No, last month's rent, like the security deposit is usually first, security at last. You know, usually you pay 3 months,
I only had to pay 2 months.
rarely. So just answer the question.
What did you ask again? What did you ask again?
I said, did you pay last month's rent in addition to the $300 security?
Oh, yes.
So you pay the landlord,
Oh, no.
I'm sorry, I'm confused.
They're asking you about prepaid rent, right? So when you first moved in,
Okay, in November,
what did you pay?
I paid, here you go. In November, I paid. Sorry. In November, I paid $366 rent because it was probated from 975. And then I gave her security for $300 because I didn't have the 975 for security.
And that's all you paid, ma'am?
On November 19th.
Okay, so that's the
600.
security and the first month's rent, no last month's rent, Commissioner.
Just yes.
Yes.
okay, so we're here today to speak about retaliation and a good cause challenge. We've already established that there's no license to rent. We've established that a certificate of rental stability was not provided, nor a let's say certificate. So, Representative, you can proceed with the case, knowing that we've already established those things. What you can present any additional information that you wish the commissioners to consider.
Thank you, Commissioner. Good morning. I don't have much to say. You've received, as evidence, the letter dated December 9, 2024, written by Ms. Blackman, requesting certain repairs be made to the property. And you have also received, the letter dated December 11, 2024, written by Ms. Bernice Cox, addressed to, Ms. Blackman, in which Ms. Cox references the repair requests and states that these requests constitute a breaking of the lease. I just want to quote briefly from that letter. This is from Ms. Cox. I am therefore accepting your letter of dissatisfaction as your formal request not to continue the lease. Kindly take this as 60 days notice to vacate the second floor unit. And then it ends, if the premises are not vacated, I will move forward with legal remedies which could damage your credit and rental history. I think this is pretty clear evidence that 2 days after Ms. Blackman requested repairs be done to the property, the landlord moved to terminate the lease agreement, directly referencing that repair request. It's clear.
Okay, so if we can just go through your client testifying exactly what were the requests that she made
Sure.
regarding the repairs for the
Ms.
property.
Blackman, can you tell me about some of the repairs that you requested on December 9?
Oh, yeah, on December 7th, James, her maintenance guy, came to the apartment to do some repair work. They did the kitchen and the bathroom, the cabinet. There was a large hole there, so they put a cover over it. They came in also to put poles in the closet so I can hang my clothes up. And they also came in to clean the kitchen cabinets where there were grease in. And those were the repairs that I asked that they came in to do for that day.
And
But-
what repairs did you ask the landlord to make when you wrote her that letter?
Okay, well, when I wrote her that letter was pertaining to the work that they did. But the repairs I did talk with Miss Cox was about the blinds in my bedroom windows because they weren't working, so the maintenance guy took the blinds down. So she said she would replace them. Also, holes on the on my window curtains, because she had some curtain rods up there. but they wasn't working, so her maintenance guy took those down also. So she said she would replace them with poles. Also, the refrigerator ended up breaking, so she had to replace that, which she did. The stove, it wasn't working because it had so much grease caked on it that she eventually had to replace it. But when she replaced it, the other one had a leak. So I still don't have a stove. The stove range on top of it, she was supposed to replace because that was caked with grease also, and that wasn't replaced. The light in the kitchen is a fluorescent light, and I couldn't change it because it's a special kind of bulbs. So I asked her to replace that, which wasn't replaced. A large, the cabinet, I said, the carpet, the carpet needs cleaning because it has like a bad odor to it. I did try to clean it several times with vinegar and baking soda, but it still has an odor. And it also lifts up from the ground where you can trip. So I asked for that to be.
Ms. Cox, you cannot interrupt, please.
So I asked if they can like staple that down so I wouldn't trip over it. Also, the bathtub, I can't take a bath because there's no stopper in the tub. Also I did mention to her, there's rust coming out of the water, but she did tell me let the water run and it would clear, which when you do let it run, it does clear, but every time I turn it on, even today, it always brown water come out. Always come out first. I don't have a light in the bathroom. I mentioned to her, there's no light in the bathroom. I have to use extension cord and a lamp for light in my bathroom. The door in the bathroom, I mentioned to her, it doesn't close at all. And I mentioned that because of privacy for like company, the door does not shut. So that door, that was one of the doors I definitely needed to be repaired right away. The living room windows, they don't lock at all, and I did request for that to be done right away. And the ceiling fan is, I'm sorry,
You missed 15.
oh, the large hole in the sink? Yeah, the large hole in the sink, in the bathroom, and also in the kitchen, they both had a large hole. Her maintenance guy did come and put a cover over it, but it still have like 4 holes there, which mice can get in, and I just brought that to her attention, hoping that they would just plug those holes up so mice wouldn't get in. I missed something else. The ceiling fan, I mentioned to her, is wobbly, when I turn it on.
Can you talk about the living room windows?
Yeah, the living room windows, they don't lock
Okay, and that's on the second floor or first floor?
where I live at, in my apartment, so, yeah, in the living room.
Okay. And
Okay,
And
so I believe that on the screen, we're being shown a list of all of the issues that the property has.
Well, I'm sorry,
Go ahead.
those were some of them, the list that I gave to her realtor, because when I moved in a week before I signed the lease. And when I started moving stuff, putting stuff away, these are the things I had noticed. So I just sent it to her realtor just to let her know that some of these things need to be done. And when the realtor came in that Saturday, she gave Miss Cox that list. Now, there are still some things that might not be on that list, because as I was living there, eventually you start seeing other stuff. And I have, so I don't know if that list you have is updated list, but yeah, that list you have there, the realtor gave her that list. But I didn't, I know you told me that.
Okay.
Okay, just so that we can move forward, we do have a licenses and inspections report. Did you contact LNI?
Yes,
Okay, according to LNI, CF 2025-008-220, opened on February 5th, 2025. There are a number of violations that were listed. 6 violations were listed, and they include interior surfaces, light, other spaces, exterior structure doors, extension cords, exterior structure windows, skies, door frames, rental license 1 and 2, family R3. Okay. And then the other thing is that you received a letter from the landlord at some point stating that she wanted you to vacate.
Yes,
Okay, according to the information that we have, that letter was received on December 11th,
yes,
2024, asking you to vacate by the end of February of 2025.
yes.
Is there any other information that you wish for us to know before we move on to the landlord? Okay,
Yes,
and
yeah,
is there anything else?
yes.
What
I-
else do you want to tell us?
That I didn't request it for all those repairs to be done immediately.
Okay, so we've already addressed that specifically. We're gonna move on to the landlord and see what information she has to give us on that topic.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Ms. Cox?
Yes.
Okay, you heard the testimony regarding the repair requests that the tenant has asked of you. What, if any, information did you want to tell us about what you've done in order to address the repair concerns that she has? Let's start first by addressing the issues that LNI has found.
Explain to you every time I would send somebody that's upstairs to do some work, she would get in an argument with them. She would take pen and paper and write down anything you do. I'm going to check and make sure it's right. I cannot. Anybody I sent up there, she has an argument with everybody I sent up there. So I finally just stopped. And we had a month-to-month agreement. I mean, she signed it. Month-to-month agreement that if she wasn't satisfied, she could move. And that's when I did tell her.
Okay, so let's just take this one step
I
at a
have to
time.
pay. She got the month-to-month agreement
Ms.
to move.
Cox, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Speaking on the list that she provided you with, when was it that you sent a contractor to the property to make the repairs or inspect the property?
She didn't have a contract for that. She just all of a sudden decided to write down anything that she wanted done, knock on the door, anything she wanted. She just write a note and then stick it in my door.
Okay, so that what I'm hearing from you is that you are saying that you sent a contractor to the property to make the repairs or examine exactly what needed to be done. Is that what you're saying?
When she moved in, she knew everything wasn't complete. She moved in for evidently because something was going on with the prior place she was living. And so I went down on the rent to her. It was at first it was
So, Ms. Cox, I just want to move this along and not getting to the back and forth. I need to understand from your perspective, what have you done in order to address the repair concerns that your tenant has?
I cannot address anything because she won't let me. She can't.
Why are you unable
do
to
things done.
address her concerns? Why are you unable to address her concerns?
Because she can't. I cannot extend when anybody that I sent up there, she gets in an argument with them and tell them how to do their job.
Okay, so can you tell me the last time that?
And I said, let me get to the stove. I had to get her another stove. She was right when the second one was up there. She had a problem. She was correct. I got another stove. Tried to send the plumber that has been with me 25 years, over 25 years. When I sent him up there, she made him so angry he had to hang up on her. And he told me, Miss Cox, how can you stand her? Everybody that has sent up there to do work, she gets in an argument with them. And I can't talk to her because she hangs up on me. She hang up on me about 3 or 4 times.
Ms. Cox, can you hear me?
Yes.
When was the last time that you sent a contractor to the property and Ms. Blackmon did not allow access to that contractor. When did that happen?
That was back in, they weren't contracted. They're just guys that did work for me. I don't have a contract. I don't have the money to actually get professional contract.
Okay,
The,
Okay,
the people
when-
that I did stand up there, they knew the job, but she wouldn't let them work.
sure. When was the last time you sent a maintenance man to the property and she didn't let them in?
That was in the first time, I think, was in December. I don't have all that date.
Okay, do you know if you've sent
I-
someone since December?
The what?
Did you send anyone since December, ma'am?
In December, yes. That's what I said. I said my plumber up there. That was. This is March. That was the last month.
Okay,
Then she only paid some time.
All right, Ally, one
I
moment.
sent a
one moment.
professional plumber up
Ms.
there.
Cox, Ms. Cox, do you understand that you have licenses and inspections violations for this property?
Inspection. Maybe I should go at the beginning. When I bought the house, the person that was living
Okay,
there.
so Ms.
ma'am.
Cox, Ms. Cox,
Yeah,
we're gonna
Ms.
just
Ms.
address.
Cox, you have to listen to the commissioner's questions, please.
Are you aware that you have L&I violations on this property?
Okay.
I'm sorry?
Let me Humphrey speak to you. I don't have a professional here. Let me Humphrey speak to
Okay,
you.
Ms. Humphrey has not been sworn in. Is she capable of answering the questions for you?
Yes, I can answer the question.
No, we
Okay,
don't
so
need-
that-
Ms. Humphrey.
Okay, hold on a
You
minute.
want to swear me in?
One second, Ms. Humphrey. Go ahead, Ally.
We have sufficient evidence. I
Information,
don't think we
right.
have to spray it.
Okay.
Humphrey.
Okay, we're good, Ms. Humphrey. You don't need to testify on her behalf.
Commissioners, can we get a recess, please?
Yes.
So at this
Okay.
point, we're gonna take a recess to discuss the case.
Ms.
Um,
Humphrey, I am gonna put you on mute. Do not hang up, please, okay? I'm just gonna mute you off, okay? Don't hang up.
Okay.
Thank you.
Tenant, you should have an option, or I'm sorry, Mr. Pastore, you should have an option to click join to go into, thank you. All right, Brandon. You put,
So just hold on, a minute. They're bringing everybody back on screen, okay?
it should be back. If you can hear me, can you give me a nod, Mr. Pastore? Great, okay. Ms. Cox, are you able to hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you, ma'am. All right, go ahead, Commissioner Byatt.
Okay, so the parties are back and Fair Housing is ready to issue a final order in this matter. Fair Housing Commission is going to find that the landlord has not shown any evidence that she has a license to rent. She has not provided any evidence that a certificate of renter suitability has been provided, nor has she provided any evidence of a LUT safe certificate. Because none of these documents exist, nor have they been provided to the tenant, the landlord is not entitled to collect rent. The notice to vacate is invalid because the landlord has not complied with city regulations, no license, no CRS, no LUT safe certificate. We're gonna be asking that the landlord correct all of the violations that L&I found. We're gonna ask that the tenant comply with the landlord's ability to make those repairs. Landlord, you have to give your tenant notice that you are sending someone into the property to make those needed repairs. When the tenant receives notice, you have to allow the landlord access. Whether you are there or not, so long as the landlord gives you access, you need to provide access. If you do not, you're going to be in violation. No rent is collected, no rent is owed until the landlord has a license, obtains a CRS, and provides it to the tenant, and also a lead safe certificate. There should be no harassment, no retaliation, and I hope that both parties can work with each other in order to rectify the matter that we're here about today. Are there any questions?
Yes. I'm told you. You forget to make the repair.
What's your question, ma'am?
This is Ms. Cox.
What is your question, Ms. Cox?
My question, My question is, I do not have the money to make all those repairs that she wants. I would prefer her to vacate my property, and I'm closing it down. I'm not gonna rent that apartment anymore. I'm closing it down. My brother told me close it down because I've lost 10 pounds since she's been in my house.
Okay, ma'am, you're not able to end a lease.
I'm closing. I'm not renting to anybody.
Ms. Cox,
I'm
Ms.
not gonna
Cox,
to anybody.
Ms. Cox, you need to hear what they're telling you, okay? Don't speak, just listen, okay? Thank you.
So ma'am, you're gonna receive the final order in writing. It'll be provided to you. I suggest you review it with an attorney. So you can take next steps.
I need an attorney. I had no idea I would need an attorney today.
You didn't need one today, ma'am. You're not required, but you have questions about ending the lease.
Okay, so
can't
I don't
get
believe that we're
anything.
gonna be able to answer any questions as a commission. Ms. Cox, if you have any additional questions, we consult that you work with an attorney or any other landlord advocacy agency. At this time, this meeting is adjourned. Parties are free to go. You will receive an order by email or in the mail. Thank you.
You.
Hey, Ms. Cox, I'm getting ready to hang up now, okay? Thank you. The hearing is over. I'm hanging up. Thank you. Have a good day. Oh.